Looking at the Chargers' backfield situation going into 2025, there's a real concern at running back. Just look at the last match rushing stats the Chargers played against the Texans in the wildcard round. The numbers tell a troubling story. While the Texans' Joe Mixon put up 106 yards on 25 carries with a touchdown, averaging over 4 yards per carry, the Chargers' ground game was completely stifled. Their leading rusher, J.K. Dobbins, managed just 26 yards on 9 attempts, while Gus Edwards added only 22 yards on 7 carries. What's particularly concerning is the lack of explosive plays or red zone efficiency. The Texans were able to control the clock and move the chains consistently with their ground game, even getting contributions from C.J. Stroud with 42 rushing yards. Meanwhile, the Chargers' rushing attack was so ineffective that Hassan Haskins and Darius Davis combined for just 2 yards on 2 carries. That kind of disparity in the running game puts too much pressure on Justin Herbert, who ended up throwing 4 interceptions while trying to carry the offense. This playoff performance highlighted exactly why the Chargers need to address their running back situation. Gus Edwards hasn't shown that explosiveness you need as a lead back, managing just 365 yards in the previous season. At 30 years old, his best years are likely behind him, and that's your most productive back on the roster right now. That's a red flag. Now, Kimani Vidal is still developing, but hasn't shown enough yet to be confident he can handle a featured role. J.K. Dobbins is a wild card. Tremendous talent when healthy, but those injury concerns are significant. He's the type of back who can give you those chunk plays and work between the tackles, but availability has been the issue. Looking at the 2025 draft class, the Chargers are actually in a good spot. This running back class has solid depth. You've got guys who can be 3-down backs, some power runners, and those hybrid players who can split out wide. When breaking down the film, 3 prospects really stand out as potential fits for what the Chargers need in their ground game. The first one is Quinshon Judkins. He really jumps off the tape when you study his college career. What stands out immediately is his contact balance. He's got that natural ability to absorb hits and keep his feet moving, which is crucial at the NFL level. Looking at his touchdown production, 45 scores in 3 years, that's the kind of red zone efficiency offensive coordinators dream about. Breaking down his running style, Judkins brings that downhill physicality you want in short yardage situations. His vision is NFL ready. He processes gaps quickly and shows excellent patience behind his blockers. The one knock in his game is long speed. While he can break off those intermediate runs and make something happen in the open field, he's not going to be taking it 80 yards to the house in the NFL. From a draft perspective, targeting him in the second round makes a lot of sense for the Chargers. If they can maneuver back into the third, there is even better value there. Judkins projects as that early down hammer who can wear down defenses and control the clock. Think of how Tennessee uses Derrick Henry, but on a different scale. The key here is pairing him with a complementary back. He's not your ideal third down option. You'll want someone with more receiving chops there. Looking at the Jalen Warren blueprint in Pittsburgh, that's the type of free agent addition that could complete this backfield. Warren's shown how valuable that change of pace role can be when paired with a power runner. The second intriguing prospect who is coming out of Tennessee is Dyan Samson. His athleticism pops when you study the tape. He's got that home run speed you look for. What's impressive is how he managed to carve out touches in a loaded Vols backfield, even taking snaps from Jalen Wright, who's now making noise down in Miami. The combine is going to be huge for Sampson. Once scouts see those testing numbers, his draft stock could skyrocket. Right now, grabbing him in the late 3rd or early 4th round would be excellent value for the Chargers. Looking at his fit in the offense, Sampson would bring that explosive element that's missing. Pairing him with a power back, like Edwards, creates that classic thunder and lightning dynamic. While Edwards wears down defenders between the tackles, Sampson can hit those outside zones and force defenders to cover sideline to sideline. The receiving game is where there's room for growth. He's shown flashes but needs more polish in his route running and hands work. That said, the athletic traits are there. You can't teach that kind of speed and explosiveness. In today's NFL, having a back who can stress defenses horizontally and vertically is invaluable. Kyle Monangai, the third option, jumps off the film with his downhill running style and power. What you see with him is that classic no-nonsense runner who finished every run with authority at Rutgers, put up back-to-back 1,000-yard season. And in the Big Ten, that's no small feat. When you dive into his game, it's all about consistency and reliability between the tackles. He's got that natural forward lean and low pad level you want in power back. Monangai might not break off those highlight reel 50-yard runs, but he'll consistently move the chains and wear down defenses. Exactly what you need in critical game situations. The fit with the Chargers makes sense, especially if Vidal can develop into the third down role. Monangai could handle the early downs and goal line work, bringing that physical element this offense needs. While he didn't show much receiving work at Rutgers, that's not what you're drafting him for. You're getting a reliable north-south runner who can handle a solid workload. Looking at how the offense could use him, think about 12 to 15 carries per game, with a heavy emphasis in short yardage and 4-minute offense situations. He's the type of back who gets stronger as the game goes on, which is crucial for closing out games in the NFL. That's what I want to know from all of you. Which running back prospect do you think fits best with the Chargers offense? Is it Judkins with his power and vision, Sampson with that game-breaking speed, or Monangai's consistent physical style? And here's something to think about. Could they possibly double dip in this draft and grab two of these backs to completely revamp that running game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.